This is Cuatro from '94, a time he was pretty busy. Edition of 40, and there's quite a few different elements to it, different processes.
Stitching, I think it's interesting the way he treats his works as fabric. I think that he really approaches making prints with like a sense of fun and exploration and just seeing like what you can really do with these processes and what you can make out of them. And it is an edition of 40, but they're mono prints, so they're all a little bit unique.
This Ed Ruscha Pepto Caviar Hollywood, made in 1970 with Ruscha and Cirrus Editions. Cirrus Editions was established that same year, so this was one of the first projects that Jean Mélant took on. The printer was talking about finding the caviar, going to the deli to find the caviar, and then having to separate it, like the color eggs, so that way it would pull, once they lined up the screen, like to pull it as a screen print, they had to pull it in just the right way from one end to the next.
And then you get to go have caviar for lunch.
Exactly.
Movies and the cinema and its kind of format and proportions really is so cinematic, if not in scale.
Slingshot lit for a light box. Was Rauschenberg interested in light boxes?
Rauschenberg was super interested in collaborating, working, also this kind of way of engaging the audience. I feel like that's one thing that Slingshot does really, really well. Engaging the audience not only with its scale, but also with the different layers of how you can move the different Mylar screens up and down.
It's interactive.
So this is a good example of something where, let's see how far we can push it.
Dieter Roth, also known as Dieter Roth, also known as Dieter Roth, was a big printmaker and was just kind of known for being associated with many different movements or not being locked down into one specific artistic movement over his career, which I think is really interesting. He released 15 first, and then they were released non-sequentially over the years, which I think is really in tune with the rebellious nature of his production.
So these feel really handmade, they feel really immediate in a way. I sort of feel that with the drawing that's on the lid of the box. It feels very fresh and like he was just in the studio and kind of made this drawing, this immediate drawing.
What I get really excited about with these is the idea of an artist trying to archive his own process or like the entire body of his work while he's kind of making it.
Wait, you're telling me that's a print?
I know, it's absolutely crazy. It really looks like a movie ticket.
Yes, it does.
It's almost hard to believe. It's actually wood engraving, the text is, and it is laser cut wood engraving, so they are kind of mixing some technology in with this. It was printed at the Grenfell Press, which Robert Gober worked a lot with over the years. They first started as actually like a book publisher, and they were really just publishing fine art books.
Liechtenstein breaking away from his cartoon comic, iconic imagery. You still see the glimmer of the Ben-Day dots in the sky, so there's that infusion there, but seeing him go into that more traditional landscape subject is really interesting for me.
Smart decision to use this specific material in a landscape, but not only a landscape, a nightscape or a moonscape, whatever right opportunity came up for it.
It being a contemporary sale, there really is something for everyone. You know, from Twombly's to tote bags, Liechtensteins to light boxes. It's a sale of the unexpected.